I'm going.
Good morning, everybody. I don't know why, but that intro makes me feel like I'm watching Saturday morning cartoons. Man. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's vlog episode. My name is Alan. I don't know why my banner is not showing. Oh, yeah, that's right, because I turned it off. Turned that off, the other day when I was trying to experiment with something, but didn't work. But yeah, good morning. Happy Sunday to you all. Happy Veterans Day weekend. Thank you to all those who have served, and thank you to those who made the ultimate sacrifice for us to be able to do things like this, on a daily basis. So appreciate all of you, and we hope you're having a great I don't know why I said Veterans Day, I meant Memorial Day, but I hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. Do want to announce that the Monday morning duo, which usually happens on Mondays at 9 o'clock Eastern, will not take place because of the holiday. All right. Morning, Mitch. Good morning. He's already going with the Fly Eagles Fly. It hasn't been 2 minutes, man. 2 minutes. He's already going with the Fly Eagles Fly. But won't be talking much, basketball or football right now. But do want to also say I believe I'll be on with Smoke and Jeremy B later today. We'll probably be talking about the Cowboys and maybe even Philadelphia a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, that'll be later today. I believe if what Dan told me is correct, it'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. And then I've got 2 other shows later today as well. Going to have Alex Simpson on at 4 p.m. Eastern later on the Sunday Sit Down, which is my interview show. And then at, I want to say 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time, we're going to have episode 3 of State of the Franchise, which will cover the Cleveland Browns. And I'll have both Bobby G and Ed in Columbus joining me for that. And it should be an awesome time. I'm excited for today. Show 1 of 4. Let's get it going. So today we're going to be talking about, Night of Champions, last night or yesterday afternoon, if you live in the States, WWE presented their premium live event Night of Champions. And one of the key matches in that show was the matchup for the new World Heavyweight Championship between AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. That's going to be what our main focus is for this vlog. And so for those who don't know or haven't seen it, Seth Rollins did beat AJ Styles yesterday and is the new World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, it was pretty much written on the wall that it was going to happen because, well, let's face it, AJ's on SmackDown. They want the World Heavyweight title to be a Raw dominant, championship. They're the Raw brand heavyweight championship. So it was more than likely that Seth was going to win that title. Although it was intriguing, the fact that they put it on first, it was at the very beginning of the event, and the fact that they reminded people throughout the match, saying that even if AJ did win the title, he would still go to Monday Night Raw. So, because the title was going to be exclusive to Monday Night Raw. So, had AJ even won the title, he would have moved on to be on Monday Night Raw. They probably would have taken the whole club with them. So, I can't. The OC, that's who it was. I keep forgetting what that stable name was, but they might have taken the whole. He might have taken the whole OC with him had he won the title last night. But yeah, Mitch, I agree. It was a great pay per view. Obviously you had the other matches that went on. The whole bloodline thing is just an amazing story, and that just added another layer to it with the Jimmy Uso turning on Roman. But what about the World Heavyweight title? Why was Seth winning it important? I feel like even though it was the obvious choice of having Seth Rollins win it because he is the Monday Night Raw guy and AJ just got drafted to SmackDown. I mean, I was more impressed that was a squash match, to be honest. And I feel like if there was any match was going to be a squash, it was going to be that one because, I love Natalya. She's been a great veteran throughout their time there, but you can't have her, with her probably at the tail end of her career, you can't have her go up against a powerhouse like a Rhea Ripley and not expected to get squashed. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. But even though Seth was obviously going to be the winner in this, I think it was still the right move because you look at the last few years. Yes, Roman's been a dominant champion. Yes, he's held that title for 1,000 days. But who are some of the guys? You look at the list. Who are some of the guys that have been, kind of carrying, WWE since Roman's title reign, with him being on and off shows. And you go down the list, Brock Lesnar, were they really going to give Brock Lesnar a world title again? Another part-timer? No, that probably wasn't going to happen. Cody would have been a choice, but they want to. It seems like they're saving his big moment for WrestleMania 40. Probably in every match with Roman once all this, the whole bloodline story implodes. I figured that's what they would say, and of course, they're having him in a match with Brock right now. So, that you leave those two guys are occupied. Kevin and Sammy are still in the storyline with the bloodline. They're tag team champions. You can't have those two guys. And really, the only other guy, AJ's been out for 4 months. So, again, I get it. He's one of the best workhorses in wrestling. But, it just made more sense to put it on Seth. Because Seth, has been a workhorse. He's been the workhorse. He may not have had a title per se around him, but anytime he's in a match, anytime he was in a storyline, either that just kind of was like meh, or a sequence where it was just like, you weren't sure what was going to happen. Seth Rollins made it manageable. He made it watchable, and he pretty much carried through the entirety of it over the last 3 years. So, you look at what he's done this year. Good Royal Rumble appearance. He had a solid, showing at the Royal Rumble this year. The Elimination Chamber. Yes, he didn't win it, but still a solid performance. And of course, setting up his match with Logan Paul at WrestleMania. That was an incredible match. And the fact that he made Omos look good, come on. Omos had his best match at Backlash against Seth Rollins. So, you gotta by proxy give him that title. not trying to crap on Omos, but I did like, I thought Brock did a decent job with him at WrestleMania, so I'm not gonna, crap on him too much. But, Seth that has done, he's already had a very stellar 2022, 2023. The last few years, he's been really, really solid. I mean, the Monday Night Rollins run, to him becoming Universal Champion, um, you know, the evolution of his character, the fact that he could go from a detestable heel to the bad guy you love to cheer for to one of the most over acts in the entirety of WWE, probably the most the most over act in the company aside from the Bloodline story. That you definitely have to take that into account. So I really do think that they did it. They made the right choice. I know it was the most predictable choice, but I really do think they made the right choice. I know some people are concerned with Seth being uh, in the new Captain America New World Order, and the film dates for that and whatnot. It seems like he's gonna try to make every Monday Night Raw, from here on out, and be that workhorse champion. So, I mean, I feel like he's still gonna stick around, even though he's still got the Marvel dates and whatnot. I don't know what's gonna go on with that, but yeah, it's interesting. So where does it go from here? I heard this morning of an interesting idea, and I know people are going to frown upon it because of the concept of it, but you know, some say that they may throw Brock Lesnar at him, right away. But some people are frowning on that probably right now as I'm speaking it. Um, Definitely don't want Brock to hold a world title, especially if he's still a part timer. This is This is supposed to be a workhorse championship, and the way this makes sense though is that Brock Lesnar is considered a threat. He's considered a huge obstacle for a workhorse title to become. So it put more legitimacy on this world title by having Brock Lesnar go for the title here at Money in the Bank, which would make sense. I mean, it still won't be as big as the WWE title at this point because Roman is just taking that to a whole nother level right now. I mean, 1,000 days as champion, it's unheard of in this day and age. The last person to do it, I believe, was Pedro Morales almost 50 years ago. So, I mean, incredible what Roman has done, as his time as champion. So, by hook or crook, really. But, the story has just gotten better and better. It's continuing to be a work of art. But with this world title, you're now going to have a champion, a world champion who is there all the time. And I think that's huge. And that's something that WWE needs. Because if you have a champion who is, on and off showing up, what does that do for credibility for the other, the other competitors, the other wrestlers, guys who are itching and scratching and clawing for an opportunity? Well, now you have a world title on Monday Night Raw that can be just that. And while, yes, the guys on SmackDown will still, suffer a little bit because of Roman being champion. I mean, the United States champion, say what you want about Austin Theory. He's done a great job with that title. I'm hearing that he might get a huge push at some point down the road. Maybe not against Roman per se, but in a high profile quality match. I know he had the John Cena match at WrestleMania, but that might be something. He might be somebody to kind of keep an eye on here towards the end of 2023. So who are some other options for Seth going forward? I mean, you could do the obvious one and do Brock Lesnar to legitimize the title. You could maybe do Omos, have that match, have that real rematch. I think this is the story I would set up. I would have Rollins face Damian Priest at Money in the Bank. Now, I know that's kind of a weird choice, but you look over the past year since Judgment Day became a thing. You know, yes, Rhea's had her time in the spotlight. She's become champion. You know, Finn Balor is Finn Balor, and you know, say what you want about Dominic, but he's the biggest heat magnet in the entire company. He's the most hated person in that company right now by the fans. So, I mean, he's doing something right at least. So, but you want to talk about the workhorse of the group? It's been Damian Priest. So you look at that. You know, I think that match. Yep. Cool. At least somebody agrees with me. I really think that, you know, you could have put that Bad Bunny Damian Priest match from Backlash, and you could have had that at WrestleMania, and it would still been. Pardon me. Pardon me, guys. Sorry about that. I think you could have put that match at WrestleMania and still got a pretty huge reaction from it. Probably not as big as the one as the crowd at Puerto Rico had. But man, you want to talking about an electric crowd that was huge. You have that match with Damian at Money in the Bank. And then let's say this. Let's put this scenario in. You have the match with Damian at Money in the Bank. Seth goes over Damian at Money in the Bank. But afterwards, you know, he gets jumped by Judgment Day. You know, same old thing we've been seeing. You know, who's going to come out? Well, then you get the return of Drew McIntyre, who has not been seen since WrestleMania. You get the return of Drew McIntyre, who, by the way, in this scenario, I would pit to be a surprise entrant in Money in the Bank ladder match, come out and win it. And then later on the night, he comes out to help Seth Rollins deal with the Judgment Day. All that goes down. And then, you know, it seems like, you know, you have that scene, you know, towards the end. Oh, they're teasing, you know, Drew's probably going to cash in on Seth, you know, maybe at SummerSlam or something like that. And all of a sudden, boom, Future Shock, Seth's out. Drew cashes in. Claymore, 1, 2, 3. Drew wins the world title, and you set up Drew McIntyre as the heel champion against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Tell me that's not a good match. That would not be a good match. You get a good sequence with him and Damian Priest. I think Priest deserves at least a shot to prove what he can do in a main event caliber scene. We kind of already seen it with his match with Bad Bunny. You know, you get the whole thing, and then you get the twist angle at the end, and then you set up Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. That is if Drew comes back. If Drew comes back, that would be how I would do it. But, you know, it seems like, you know, Money in the Bank, they're going to set up maybe Brock Lesnar to kind of put a little bit of legitimacy on that world title. I know it's a brand new title, so that they're probably, you know, Brock Lesnar's the biggest, you know, combat sports athlete right now. So maybe not by UFC standards, but by WWE standards, he definitely is. So I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see. But I think, you know, over the course of the rest of this year, they're going to start building that world title as, you know, like Triple H said, it's going to be the working man's world heavyweight title. And it's going to be a title that, you know, a lot of people are going to want to go after. So I really do think Seth winning it was the right choice, although I wouldn't have been upset had they put the belt on AJ and moved him to Raw, although it wouldn't have made sense because of the draft. But Yeah, I think Seth is the best guy to carry it right now. And if he ends up carrying it on to WrestleMania, I mean, cool. That would be awesome. But yeah, I really think he'll either get a sequence of matches with him, Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, maybe even throw Damian Priest in there, maybe even Bray Wyatt if he comes back. There's tons of guys on that roster right now that Seth can feud with. Maybe they bring Randy Orton back and they get he wants one more world title run before he retires. So maybe they do that. Maybe they have the Royal Rumble winner go after the world title at WrestleMania, and then just have Cody go after the WWE, get traded to SmackDown to go after Roman, or however they decide to do that. But I'm excited to see what they do with this title. So I know a lot of people weren't excited about it at first, but I'm really excited to see after watching Night of Champions yesterday and what could the potential that they could have with Money in the Bank. SummerSlam's coming up. I'm excited to see what they could potentially do for this World Heavyweight title to make it the go-to title on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out, for that. But well, I think that's going to be it for me today for today's vlog. This is probably one of the longer vlogs I've done since I started doing this, about a month or so ago. But yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking this so far. So definitely check that out if you're watching this after the fact. These will usually go live at 9 a.m. Eastern on Sundays. So yeah, definitely check that out if you're watching this after the fact. If you want to join in live, if you want to brave the storm and wake up early, or unless you live in the UK and you're already midway through the day, in which case thank you for joining. Hope your day is going well. But yeah, as for me for the rest of the day, like I mentioned, later today I'm probably gonna. I believe if what Dan told me is correct, I'll be on later with Smoke and Jeremy B on his show later today. I believe it's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern, so definitely check that out. I'm going to have my interview show, the Sunday sit down at 4 p.m. Eastern with my guest Alex Simpson, who's a big 49ers fan, has his own show here on Let's Talk Sports. He's a big part of this community. I'm super excited. I can't wait to talk to him. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern later today, we're going to have episode 3 of State of the Franchise. We're going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to have both Bobby G and Ed in Columbus, who are both huge Browns fans in the community. Bobby G, of course, from Fan University podcast, and Columbus, a part of the We Like Sports podcast as well. You'll definitely check those guys out. They'll be on later with me at 6 p.m. to talk some Cleveland Browns, so definitely keep an eye out for that. No show tomorrow, no Monday Morning Duo, because of the holiday. Memorial Day is tomorrow here in the U.S., so no show for me tomorrow. Tuesday is our baseball show, our Let's Talk Major League Baseball, both on the Hardcore Sports Network and Let's Talk Sports. And also, I do want to mention the new partnership with Sideline Sports. It's a huge partnership here. Dan has not hit another home run. This merger is going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what the future holds for the communities as a whole. But yeah, baseball show Tuesday 4 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Jonathan Grishman, Scott Coe, morning newsletter. Wednesday morning with me and Scott Coe. I'm going to be off work from my normal job next weekend, so I might be on a whole host of shows. And then next Sunday, a week from today, we've been putting it off for a couple weeks, but hopefully, if everything goes right, we're going to finally have our Dallas Cowboys Roundtable show next Sunday. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But until then, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in, talking some WWE with me this morning. Yeah, definitely go, like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. So you know when guys are going live. Definitely check everybody here on Let's Talk Sports, Hardcore Sports Network, and as well as Sideline Sports Out. Everybody does such a great job of putting out good content. There's always something to watch for somebody, no matter what you're a fan of. So, to quote the great Johnny Cruz here, and to quote Nick Bodkins, be a friend, tell a friend. Let people know that there's great sports content here on Let's Talk Sports, Hardcore Sports, and of course Sideline Sports as well. So, but yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. I'll be back at 2 p.m. Eastern again, I believe on Smoking Jeremy B's show later today. Definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm not sure what the show is called, but I'm sure I'll hear from Dan or somebody later on here pretty soon. So, but yeah, until then, hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Love y'all. Stay safe. Take care. And we'll see you later.